Good morning. Love someone tonight. Good night. Hello, good morning. I'm just waiting for people to come in. Just getting my thoughts together. Yes. Interesting. So far, Spirit has said microwave gadgets. They know your name. Please hold tight. Please hold tight. 2010s. In the stillness and impatience, which is so funny because after impatience, they said they know your name. I'm sure there's a lot of powers that be that don't want us to get a higher perspective of this linear view, but we're going to do it. So please be with me. Good morning, everybody. Hello. I'm just waiting for people to come in. Please be patient with me. Oh, whoops. It's in the wrong deck. Oh, I really like these new cards I got. The Citadel. They're called the Citadel. They're very ornate. Good morning, Zachary. Neighborhood. Zach Ryan. Good morning. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the like. Thank you for being with me so early in the morning. Good morning, everybody. We're going to attempt, I've never done this before, but this is ultimately what I created Spirit News for, is to get higher perspectives of linear views, Spirit News, to be able to look at, from a higher perspective with Spirit, things that happen in our current events that don't make sense, that we are told a very limited amount of information for, and that for unimaginable things that are beyond our comprehension, that we need more answers for. That's ultimately what we created Spirit News for. If you love metaphysical information and you're on your own spiritual journey where you are wanting to connect with others that are on a spiritual journey as well. Ooh, my throat shaka. My throat shaka laka. It's happening. Holy Divine Spirit, please remove any energies that don't want this message to come through. Archangel Michael, please surround us with a protective bubble of love and light to protect us from any false negative energy trying to enter. Thank you so much. So, we created Spirit News, which is on all major platforms. We're the host of Spirit News, which you can listen on any platform that you like. That's your favorite platform. And we created it with the idea of it being a platform that would reveal things that are hidden from a higher perspective, getting views from a higher perspective, because I don't think that our government and powers that be tell us everything we need to know. I think they want to act like they do. I think that they are really holding on tightly to power, and I think they have many different alternative methods in which they keep power and abuse power, and I'm just done with it. I'm done with it. It's just so juvenile, so immature. It's like, enough already. So if they don't want to have the courage to be truthful and honest and confirmation with a notification. Oh, it's because I have my microphone plugged in. I was like, why didn't it make a noise? That's okay. I have my microphone plugged in. So, we've had some strange events lately. I'm just waiting for a little more people to come in. What's the time at? 5 minutes? All right. That's good. So we'll attempt to get a higher perspective. I've never done it this way before. I've been on a journey of of spiritual development, of learning the language of spirit, so I can get to a level where I can get accurate, clear, concise messages, where I can get a higher perspective without attaching myself emotionally to the information. So, my name is Patience. I'm your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on all major platforms. If you want to follow any of our socials, you can absolutely find them through the link tree, through the bio. We've put them there for you, and we'd absolutely love to have you. Thank you so much for being with us and for supporting us. We're really, really excited to see the growth of the platform and all the people that resonate with us. And I absolutely love being here with you. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know. Someone sound or said, "Are you a tarot reader?" I don't know. I don't know what I am. I'm just a messenger, and I use multiple different ways to convey the message through spirit, because spirit can speak to you through anything. Through anything. There's nothing that spirit can't speak to you through. And so you just have to be open to receiving. You have to learn how to be receptive, and you have to learn how to clear your field so you can match divine energy, because when you're in density and you are not operating in a high frequential ratio, you won't receive divine messages. Not You're going to receive the messages that match your energy now. Okay. I absolutely do know Yeshua. He refers to himself as Yeshua. He never calls himself Jesus. I don't know why, so I just respect Yeshua. That's what he says was one of his incarnations, and he never refers to himself as Jesus. So I do follow Yeshua. I absolutely love him. We did a meditation, and a walking meditation, a few weeks ago, where him and Mary Magdalene. That was wild. It was so beautiful. I cried like a baby while I was on the treadmill. I was like, oh. It was beautiful. We did a grid healing. It was really nice. Which anyone can do. If you get yourself to a place of worthiness to match the energy, you can absolutely do healing for yourself, healing for others, whatever it is that you're called to do. So this is my calling. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you to the ancestors, beings of love and light, ancestors, loved ones, spirit guides, angels, Yeshua, ascended masters, God. Thank you so much for being with us. Ooh, I just gotta, Holy Divine Spirit, Archangel Michael, please be with me in clearing the field. Oh, that's why. Okay, thank you so much. Let me clear the field. Yeah, so we're going to try to get a higher perspective of the recent tragedies as of late. We have Rob Reiner and his wife. We have the Providence, Rhode Island, Brown University shooting, the Massachusetts, MIT professor, and the Australian mass shooting. So those are 4 events that are pretty strange to be happening. Does she have a connection with someone else that's real enough not to want to fight for us? Whatever's meant for you will be easy. Whatever's meant for you will be fun and exciting. Okay. We're all children of God. We're all the children of God. We're all the children of God. Damn. So I've had a lot of hey. Okay. I've had a lot of kickback with this reading, so let me just I don't know how I'm gonna start it. I don't know what's gonna come out. Anything that comes out is for entertainment purposes only. I cannot prove any of it in a court of law. Spirit says, don't trespass. Don't come into my energy field. You're not gonna like it. Okay? If you're trying to stop this reading, don't come into my energy field. Spirit said, do not trespass. Okay? So we're gonna try to get a higher perspective and see what comes out. I'm kind of nervous. Let me just drink a drink of coffee. Holy Divine Spirit, with Archangel Michael, please put me in a protective bubble so I can get a higher perspective of these late events as of late. I want to know if they're connected. I want to know. Well, Spirit did say microwave and gadgets. And I know for 100%, I know for a fact, and I can't tell you my what's it called? I can't tell you my reason why I know this because I don't want anyone to get hurt or in trouble. You should capitalize, Tyler, you should capitalize am. I am a son of God. You should say that. You're not the son of God. That would make it just one, that you're just the only one. And we're all children of God. So that's right. Yeshua is a prophet. Exactly. A messenger. Absolutely. An oracle. Yeshua was psychic, you guys. Yeshua was psychic. But I do know for 100% of a fact through someone in particular that powers that be, the military, the government, they do harness energy weapons. They do have an energy weapon in multiple ways as well. They have it through gadgets that kind of works kind of like a microwave, where they can beam out certain frequencies that will hit certain people that have a certain blood type, or have a certain frequency, have a certain level of anger, whatever matches what they need to what they need to manifest their things. Okay, I know for 100% of a fact that they have that. I do. I can't tell you my sources because I don't want anyone to get in trouble or hurt. Okay, but I know that they have that. And through our readings, we're discovering that they can absolutely harness this energy weapon, and they have it in multiple ways. It's basically energy manipulation. And so they have it through a physical, like technological tool, but they also have it, they also do have people that have gifts. Yes, I can. That have gifts as well, spiritual gifts, but they don't use them for good. Okay, so they have that, and they use it on the collective to generate their manifestations, or to turn or redirect us in the path they want us to go. And they do that because they need us. They can't. It's kind of like a loophole for the law of free will. It's a universal law, and they understand it because they talk to interdimensional beings that are in the fourth dimension, that have awareness of cosmic law. And no warmth of human touch. They're not physical beings. And so they inform the humans that are working with them how to go around certain cosmic laws, which the biggest one is the law of free will. The law of free will states that you have to know or participate willingly in order for you to not receive karmic debt. Well, I mean, you'll receive karmic debt, but I'm talking about the people who implement the weapons. They're trying to minimize the amount of karmic debt they will experience. And so they, in some form or shape or another, have to inform us of what they do, and we have to be in agreement to it for what they do. And they do that by loopholes. So like false flags, movies, children's shows, things like that. They'll slip in psychological tactics to subliminally tell us on a subconscious level, so that way we subconsciously willingly watch it, and we agree to it. From another world, yeah. The interdimensionals they work with are, you can call them aliens if you want, I don't know if that's like the most accurate way we can describe them. I think interdimensionals are the best way to describe them. And if I kept yapping against your view, wars begin. I would say you are insane. See, so you have a lot of people who may be affected by this very gadget or microwave or whatever the tool is. They have, like I said, they have multiple ways to do it. They have people who can tap in and they can see where certain people are in their frequency, so they're easier to manipulate, because intrusive thought is their most favorite way to get somebody to do something they wouldn't normally do. And they need that person that they're sending the intrusive thought to do their bidding, to have a certain level of unresolved trauma or anger or whatever the low emotion is, envy, jealousy. Okay. And so there may be something about that in these four tragedies. And then one of the downloads I got was Shakespearean, the four tragedies of Shakespeare. And it's funny because they could singularly possibly connect to, you know, the four tragedies that happened as of late. So we're mostly focusing on. So forgive me if I'm a little long-winded. I got some downloads, but I've never done it this way before. So I'm kind of experimenting, trying to find a way to like reveal the information and stay on topic and like relevancy. Okay, so there's the MIT teacher, there's Brown University, which seem to be connected. They found that person, I believe his name was Claudio. I forget his name, but they did find somebody that matched the video who unalived themselves after the MIT professor. So seem to be connected supposedly, which is strange because I don't know. There was no footage of him at Brown, so that's weird. But whatever. And then there's Rob Reiner and his wife by their son. Okay, so that's interesting. And then there's the Australian one. Okay, so that's four. So I was getting the four tragedies of Shakespeare. Now it says Hamlet, which kind of reminded me of Rob Reiner. Or wait, no, wait. No, I'm sorry, King Lear. King Lear depicts an aging king who divides his kingdom based on flattery, leading to madness, betrayal by his daughters, and profound suffering, highlighting themes of justice, family, and power. Doesn't that sound like Rob Reiner, like a family situation? Okay. And then there was Othello, which focuses on the tragic jealousy and manipulation that lead the Moorish general Othello to destroy himself and his beloved wife Desdemona due to villainous Lago schemes. So, and it also has to do with racism, which reminded me of Brown University because they're very liberal and they're very big on, inclusion, which is great. But what are the odds that that would happen at Brown University? It's never happened before, so it's very interesting. And then there's the Australian one, which which reminded me of Macbeth. Oh, I'm sorry, Hamlet. The tale of Prince Hamlet's quest for revenge after his father's ghost reveals his murder by his uncle, exploring themes of madness, revenge, and existential doubt. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little phlegmy from the reading. And then the last one is Macbeth, a Scottish general's ambition, spurred by witches, prophecy, and his wife's influence, drives him to regicide and tyranny, resulting in his own violent downfall and a kingdom in chaos. Which kind of reminds me of just like the overall arching theme of a kingdom in chaos. Okay, this kingdom is in chaos, with lots of things going on, and I was also getting things from Charlie Kirk, which I haven't gotten an okay from God to do that reading specifically yet. I'm waiting for one more sign. I do the 3. If it's 3, it's for me. But I haven't received anything yet. So make sure you're hitting that like button and that subscribe button so people can find us. If you like what we do here, we truly appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. We love you. And yeah, so that's what I got so far. So it's very interesting. Keep me in your thoughts. We have navigated a turn, the spiritual realm from another world. No warmth of human touch. So Holy Divine Spirit, please tell me, are these things connected? Intimacy. Intimacy. Yes. These things are intimately connected. In what way, though? Like, in what way? What would be the reason for these things to be connected? It kind of feels like an energy grab, like a desperate energy grab. I know that those that are in power like to use fear. Like I said, this is starting to like be like, 9/11 type of energy where they need to create a false flag, even though it's not a false flag because, people get hurt, but false flag as in creating a scare tactic or a fear tactic to induce the people to want them to do something. Well, you need to do something about this, and then giving our power away for them to do what they think would be the best, which is usually some kind of, war or something, because they need, they make money off of war because, they need to buy the bullets and the ammunition and all that. And so it's like a money grab. It's like an energy grab. Okay, so we have to remember, we have to ask ourselves, why? Why do you need our permission to go, hurt people? God always says you can't fight fire with fire. We can't keep being okay going off into other countries and hurting people for things that they set up that are false. You understand? Okay? Why are you so yellow? Answer me. It's my light. Okay? I'm getting real tired of talking about the freaking light. Who cares if I'm yellow? Who cares? Ronald. Spirit said Ronald. Ronald Reagan. The Seeker. The Seeker. The Seeker. The Seeker. She has like a flashlight in her hand. And there's a bird up here. The Seeker. Intimacy. What are they seeking? They're seeking for us to believe in doubt. They seek to affect our confidence. A card about inner resilience, about choosing yourself, even when the wind blows in your face. Belief in yourself is a compass that leads you through doubt. What do I believe in, even when I doubt? What does my confidence look like? What helps me not to give up? Mm. Guilt, neglect, shame, self-criticism, and about beginning to treat yourself with care. Do I treat my body with respect and care? What would I like to apologize to my body for? Link. Nervous system link. Brain. Oh my god, I was just freaking thinking that. I think I'd like to apologize to my body for thinking so much. There's some kind of gamble they took because they're losing. They wanted to achieve some kind of, like I said, they want us to choose. They want us to choose them. They want us to create certain situations where we say, this is out of control. You need to do something about this. And then they have, a million different things that they want to do. And then whichever one is pulsating for the... Spirit said Michaela. Whichever one is pulsating the highest is the one they're going to choose. And then they'll be like, the people have spoken and we want to go to war with whoever. It's ultimately going to end in some kind of major event that they need us to say okay to. Okay? Something like that. Between worlds. Alfredo, Ronald, Michaela. Between worlds, and look, she's like sleeping. Yeah, they need... What they do is this energy ray, and this isn't nothing new. If you watch us, you know that we've talked about this many times. This is like Atlantis shit, just recreated in a different modern time, okay, in a different way. This is Atlantis shit. Messing with energy weapons, trying to be God, trying to keep control, trying to keep power. So, let me see if I can get more detail. Oops. We'll look in the Bible. Holy Divine Spirit, please try to convey what is going on from a higher perspective. Gibeonite vengeance. Samuel 21. Exploits in Philistine wars. There was another battle between the Philistines and Israel. David went down with his servants and fought the Philistines, but David grew tired. Dadu, a descendant of the Rephaim, whose bronze spear weighed 300 shekels, was about to take him captive. Dadu was girt with a new sword and thought he would kill David. But Abishai, son of Zeruiah, came to help him, and struck and killed the Philistine. Then David's men swore to him, "You must not go out to battle with us again, lest you quench the lamp of Israel." After this, there was another battle with the Philistines in Gob. On that occasion, Sibbecai, the Hushathite, struck down Saph, a descendant of the Rephaim. There was another battle with the Philistine, whose spear shaft was like a weaver's beam. There was another battle. There was a giant who had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. 24 in all. He too was descended from the Rephaim. And when he insulted Israel, Jonathan, son of David's brother, Shimei, perchance, struck him down. These four were descended from the Rephaim and Gath, and they fell at the hands of David and his servants. The four were descended from the Rephaim. What's the Rephaim? Let me see what Rephaim is. Who are the Rephaim in the Bible? No, not Raphael. Rephaim. I might have to spell it. How do I spell it? Rephaim. Rephaim. A mysterious ancient people mentioned in the Bible and other Near Eastern texts known for two main things: the race of giants, or mighty warriors in Canaan, like King Og of Bashan, and poetically the shades of or spirits of the dead dwelling in the underworld, the terrible ones. Reflecting from their fearsome giants to shadowy spirits. Come through, Spirit. Oh my gosh. So something about these four situations being connected to shadow spirits and the fearsome giants, descendants of the fearsome giants. These four, but in what way? O Lord, my rock, my fortress, my deliverer, my rock and my refuge, my shield, my saving horn. Live restricted for some audiences. Okay.
90.
Violation warning. What did I say? Someone keeps trying to violate me. There's a 90. Someone keeps trying to violate my TikTok. I'm reading from the Bible. The earth rocked and shook, the foundations of the heavens trembled, they shook as his wrath flared up, smoke rose in his nostrils, a devouring fire from his mouth. It kindled coals into flame, he parted the heavens and came down, a dark cloud under his feet. Mounted on a cherub he flew, borne along on the wings of the wind. And that card says, choose yourself even when the wind blows in your face. And this says, borne along on the wings of the wind. This feels like some kind of balance being conducted. He made darkness the cover about him, a mass of water, heavy thunderheads. From the brightness of his presence, coals were kindled to flame. The Lord thundered from heaven, the Most High made his voice resound. He let fly arrows and scattered them, lightning and dispersed them. Then the bed of the sea appeared, the world's foundations lay bare at the roar of the Lord, at the storming breath of his nostrils. He reached down from on high and seized me, drew me out of the deep waters, he rescued me from my mighty enemy. The Lord wants us to acknowledge righteousness. Being disloyal to God and Bending the laws of God and his decrees will cast you aside. Being honest and guard against sin, you will be rewarded for your righteousness. But if you perverse, but to the perverse and the devious, you will be humbled. Damn. This is so hard to read, but something about the balance. Something about the balance of something. And for something about these situations being connected to certain energy, energy presence, energy brightness, like a 5. Spirit said 5. There could be one more coming because we're looking at 4, unless you count Charlie Kirk as being 5. These could be some kind of balance because of some kind of menacing flood, from some kind of perverse, devious people, like a buildup, like a buildup of energy from doing so many, like from having so much hateful energy, or having so much vengeance, having so much jealousy, having so much energy manipulation. It's like a buildup where, I don't know, I'm in my mind, I'm looking at it like, if I see it as like a burst of energy in particular places. Damn. I don't know if I'm... I was just going to say, and this card says, believe in yourself. I was just going to say, I don't know if I'm skilled enough to like really understand this energy yet. I want to, it's my goal to, but let me see if I can get another thing. So something about a balance, something about using beliefs that are disconnected from God, that are rooted in jealousy, manipulation, power, flattery, like all of these low emotions. Damn. There's a buildup, but I believe it's in your liver. You guys, it's my light, okay? Do you want this light? Is this better? Since you're so obsessed with me, the color of my skin, like, why are you so obsessed with the color of my skin?
Disinterestedly.
Just so annoying. Damn, how am I gonna get this in? How can I do this? Spirit, how can I do this? Okay. So there's something about like a buildup of energy. So like they're really showing me Rob Reiner and Brown University. It's kind of like, for example, the director or the person who runs Brown University, they were so like disconnected. She didn't have any answers. She didn't know what the study group was doing. She didn't, she was very cold. There's no empathy. It kind of made me feel like she didn't care. Brown University is an Ivy League school, It can cost up to $90,000 to go to. You know, goes on there what goes on there for that to happen there? Like, there's something about a buildup of energy. It could be based off of ambition to have, the best school in the kingdom, to have, power, something like that. Oh my gosh, look, as I say that, hoarding money, these are when you go to an Ivy League school, you're paying for the highest education you can get in, and so you can have the best education for whatever classes they offer, right? Including MIT. If these schools are only interested, are becoming more interested in the money, in getting the money from the students than actually educating the students, then that's a problem. And that's an energy that will build, 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 build. And it will cause a collapse or an eruption of energy, where this is how, and Spirit said, in the astral realm.
Replace it.
Yes, thank you. In the astral realm, if it's a buildup, it's like it has to, if there's enough energy generating in the astral realm through thoughts and through actions and patterns of wanting more money, how can we get more money, how can we, it all becomes about money and tricking people out of money and fees and late fees, and then the teachers are in the same energy. That's a collapse. And it's like a balancing effect. What you are generating in that area will collapse on itself, and you'll experience a tragedy that matches that energy in that area. So it's something like that. And the Bible said, it's cause and effect. If you are exhibiting these behaviors that go against, pure positive energy, or the creator, or what you are naturally, then there's going to be an effect to that. So there's something like that. So the schools the schools represent money grabs, like hoarding money, wanting to have more money, looking at the students as more, and this is funny because this is a young man, like a student's age, looking at more of them as, money, not looking at them as people who are going to run the future of our country, not looking at them as precious and needing them to be happy and not stressing out. And, the future leaders who are going to these Ivy League schools, who are going to be the brains of our future, that are going to dictate where we go, are just, they're being stressed out and they're being bombarded by gadgets and it feels very like a hoarder. And look, what's being more important at the school is, bags and, designer bags, and that's so funny. This kind of looks like Thayer Street in downtown, around Brown University. So it's like the parents pay for this Ivy League education, but there's something about something that they do at this school where it's money motivated. It's not completely for the best interest, like maybe it was back in the day when it was first established, where going there would mean you would have the best education. It's becoming different. So there's something about that. You know what? Let me see. Was there footage of the person with the GUN at at the Brown University? Was there video footage at Brown University? Yes. Did they keep this information from the public because of something specific? Yes. Did Claudio do the I'm trying to be careful what I say because I don't want to get flagged again. As I'm already on a warning. Did Claudio do the MIT and the school? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. How do I put it? Did Claudio do it? Did Claudio do it? Did Claudio do it? No? Was Claudio just a setup to give us an answer? Okay. So who did it? Who did it? There's something they're hiding with the footage, with the school footage. It could have been a student or who did it? Hmm. Hmm. Someone who put in an order? Someone who put in an order. Many orders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 orders. Someone who put in 7 orders. Well, we're up to 4. If you include Charlie Kirk, that's 5. If you include... There could be 2 more that are coming. 2 more tragedies based on one person's order. This person has a lot of menus. Look at all the menus this person has. They have a lot of orders they want to give out. Why? Because it's part of some kind of plan. It's part of some kind of report. They're trying to have something go a certain way. Like some kind of plan they have. They're trying to, like I said, they're trying to direct things to go in a particular way. So they need particular events to happen for us to be okay with it. But why the school? Because they needed something. Doesn't that look like Justin Bieber? Something about Justin Bieber. Protect Justin Bieber. But something about needing to hit a prestigious place. Supposedly. A supposedly prestigious place. It's funny because... Oh my gosh, this reminds me of Rob Reiner and his wife. And then there's the son and the sister. So what like I said, there's multiple different things that they're putting an order in for to happen. And look, these cups are all the same, but they're floating in the air. So it could be some kind of energy manipulation. It could be coming through gadgets and technology, games, social media. So Claudio may have been like a pawn, just someone to say they did it, so that way we don't have any more questions of who did it. What's
Sick.
sick? Spirit says it's sick. Spirit says it's sick. So this is part of like a step-by-step initiative where they want to what's the goal? Like what is the ultimate goal? Or tell me about Rob Reiner.
Colton.
Colton. Spirit said Colton. Rob Reiner, this came out. Hmm. There's furniture against the door. And there's a lamp on outside the window. And when it came to Rob Reiner, the thing I was getting was King Lear depicts an aging king who divides his kingdom based on flattery, leading to madness, betrayal, and profound suffering, highlighting themes of justice, family, and power. So Rob Reiner represents the family dynamic. They're trying to get the family dynamic to be chaotic, or to get children of certain families to be in some kind of suffering. They want to affect the schools so that way the kids of the future aren't like this, but are like this. Okay? Tell me about Australia. Australia may be having certain changes in their thank you. Maybe implementing certain changes that they don't want to be dripped down to the rest of the world. So, something like that. They might be implementing certain things that would reduce stress and amplify motivation. Australia could be leading the way with certain implementations that they don't want Australia to be seen for. Something like that. And tell me about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, the hermit. Charlie Kirk represents the people, or maybe Charlie Kirk was someone who wanted to go into isolation because of something that they discovered, something they were illuminated to, something that was hidden. Something he was initiated into. Because look at, she has this weird, like, pendant thing, like what they wear in those robes. Oh, interesting. I cannot make it up. Something that was, the world. Yeah, something to affect the world. Something to change the world. This kind of reminds me of the Oval Office, doesn't it? Something to affect the world. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Um,
Your journey.
your journey. Tell me about Rob Reiner. There's something about Rob Reiner that we don't know that's hidden. Tell me about Rob Reiner's family. The heir. The runaway. Secrets. Running from problems. Yeah. There's something about that family that had secrets. They represent something about secrets in families. A buildup of some kind of problems, unseen problems. And, it says King Lear depicts an aging king who divides his kingdom based on flattery. So there could have been some kind of argument about who was going to be the heir, or there could have been some kind of cause and effect. Sleeper. The sleeper. His son could have been some kind of sleeper cell that was activated through some kind of oh, I gotta do this puzzle piece. Oh, try again. There we go. Charlie Kirk was a good man and still lives on in spirit. Charlie Kirk may have found out something. There's something that's connecting all of these things. And I have this yellow, see this yellow? It kind of reminds me of Doctor Strange when he's like, and he opens the portal, something like that. The witch. I can't make it up, you guys. There's something that's connecting all of these scenarios, and it may have to do with some kind of energy manipulation. Because Macbeth says, a Scottish general's ambition spurred by witches, prophecies, and a wife's influence, leading to regicide tyranny, resulting in his own violent downfall and kingdom in chaos. Charlie Kirk may have been initiated into some kind of something that was, I don't know, tell me more about this. Something that could have been witchy, something that could have been not what he expected, or something he didn't agree with. Tell me more about Charlie Kirk. He may have been unalived because of something that he refused to be a part of. Something that he found out about. Well, this one's didn't come out right. Some kind of plan that was being cooked up. Something that could involve children. Something that made him sick. Something that threw him through the ringer. Something he couldn't catch on to. Something he didn't want to be connected to. Something he didn't want to be connected to. Tell me more about that. What should I read today? And that's interesting because I have this. He may have read or learned about some kind of plan that he didn't agree with. Something that would lead to our children being obsessed with things that don't matter instead of and turning into reckless. It's something about our future generations. They don't want our future generations to be empowered. There's something about that. They want them to I don't know. Tell me more about that. Yeah, Charlie Kirk may have got out of line or didn't want to be a part of the mess or was rebelling against this initiation. And look how the girl is doing good and the boy is rebelling. So it's something about getting out of line, not being cookie cutter, not not wanting. And look, this tugboat has a light over it, being illuminated about something. There's some kind of plan in action. Some kind of orders have been put in because there's a plan at play. There's some kind of plan at play to produce some kind of outcome. What is this outcome they want to produce? Oh, those fell. A kingdom of chaos. They want to turn things upside down. But why? What is this plan they have? What is this plan? I have so many questions. I don't know how to get all the answers. Let me see. Shadows are examining every angle because things are starting to get magnified through a magnifying glass. They're trying to measure how large something would be. They're trying to measure something. They're trying to get an angle of something. Which is correct to say, oh, whoops. Which is correct to say, the yolk of the egg are white or the yolk of the egg is white? Neither. The yolk of the egg is yellow.
Complain.
Complain. Yeah, they're trying to get us to look at something a certain way that it's not. Because the yolk of the egg is not white, the yolk of the egg is yellow. So whether it are white or is white, it's neither, it's yellow. So they're trying to almost like, feels like test run or something, because there's certain things that are being magnified under a magnifying glass. We're starting to question things, so they're Jack Axe charges $5 to cut a wooden log into 2 pieces. How much will Jack cut? How much will Jack charge to cut a log into 4 pieces? 15. Trying to prolong something, trying to examine how large the angle is. They're trying to see where we're at in our consciousness, to see if they can do. Oh, look, Charles, pompous. Charles may have been bragging. He may have been pompous about some kind of reply that he made. He may have said, I know what you're doing. Fight it. I know this energy's hard to read, but Sir said fight it. And Charlie may have been trying to fight something about a farm, some kind of farm. How many animals does it take to do what you're trying to do? And this says piddly little. Charles may have been bragging about something. Slipshod was bragging about the ranch he had purchased when Charles Pompous commented that it was probably just a piddly little 2-horse farm. Slip thrust out his chest and replied, My ranch, I'll have you know, has all horses but 2, all cows but 2, and all sheep but 2. How many animals does Slip own? 3. Slip owns 1 horse, 1 cow, 1 sheep. As you approach the center of a turning wheel, the speed decreases owing to this fact does the exact center of a wheel rotate when the wheel turns. They're trying to examine an angle where they can magnify where we are at in our consciousness. Are we split into 2? Are we split into 4? Are we approaching a turning point where we won't be fooled by these things? This is like some kind of test or something for us. Are we going to accept it as it is, or are we going to ask more questions? Charles could have, it says Charles here, so there's something about Charles asking more questions. There's something that he was commenting about, or they didn't want him to slip and comment about it, or maybe he get something they didn't want him to get. They're trying to figure out exactly how many of us can be affected by this turning of the wheel. So they have this plan to set certain mind traps to test how much we're willing to give them permission to do something or something. Let me look in the subconscious mind. Spirit, what is this? There's certain events that they have timed, that they've committed to. It could be energetically. It could be energetically because I have this person putting in orders, and there's those cups floating. So it could be energetically. I also have this circle of energy that's surrounding these two gentlemen that looks like the Oval Office that are making some kind of agreement. Tell me about this agreement. Judging people by their covers. As for men, a group of scientists recently discovered that men unconsciously adjust the pitch of their voices higher or lower in accordance with their assessment of where they stand on the dominance of hierarchy with respect to possible competitors. In that experiment, which involved a couple hundred men in their 20s, each man was told he'd be competing with another man for a lunch date with an attractive woman in a nearby room. The competitor, it was explained, was a man in a third room. Each contestant communicated with the woman via a digital video feed, but when he communicated with the other man, he could only hear him and not see him. Each contestant communicated with the woman via a digital video feed. But when he communicated with the other man, he could only hear him and not see him. In reality, both the competitor and the woman were confederates of the researchers, and they followed a fixed script. Each man was asked to discuss with both the woman and his competitor the reasons he might be respected or admired by other men. Then, after pouring his heart out about his prowess on the basketball court, his potential for winning the Nobel Prize, or his recipe for asparagus quiche, the session was ended and he was asked to answer some questions assessing himself. His competitor and the woman, the subjects were dismissed. There would alas be no winners anointed. What?
Fortnite.
Spirit said Fortnite. The researchers analyzed a tape recording of the male contestants' voices and scrutinized the man's answers. The issue probed the contestant's appraisal of this level of physical dominance as compared to that of his competitor. The research found that when participants believed they were physically dominant, they were more powerful and aggressive, and that lowered the pitch of their voices.
Inside.
What? I don't know if I can say this. I'm going to say it for the data I don't know if it's true, but if I don't say it, it's just gonna eat away at me. There's something about a man and a woman being in competition. The man is in competition with another man who research shows people believe in and is more powerful and aggressive, but has a different kind of power than the other person. They have a point of view of evolution, and they're interested in men and women, and men and women's voices being pronounced, and they are fertile. And they are fertile. They're fruitful. Is this about competition? Oh my gosh, I don't know if I should say this. This is for entertainment purposes only. I cannot prove any of this in a court of law, but they're sending subliminal advertisements. Their plan is to initiate subliminal advertisements towards a specific man and a woman. I don't know who the man and woman are. I will say that this person looks like JD Vance with the blue eyes. I don't know if it's him. The woman could be Charlie Kirk's wife. I don't know.
Spectral operation.
I don't know. But there's something about Charlie Kirk having a powerful presence that people listen to. And there's something that he found out about that affected his initiation. And something that another male was threatened by, because the research showed that in some kind of research they did, that Charlie Kirk would have more of an influence than another person. And so Charlie Kirk may have been initiated into something to advance his evolution, but when he saw something, or the risk, some kind of risk that was introduced to him, it indicated a conclusion that he didn't want to be part of the subliminal advertisements that affect sexuality.
Stay away.
Stay away. He wanted to stay away. There's something that he was upfront about because he cares about the children. He wasn't buying into this tempting clickbait that would affect the children. There was something he wanted to explain in his deep voice of power that attracts women. Maybe getting more of women's vote or something, I don't know. But it indicated to him that he was taller and more truthful than those of others with traits that he correlated with low-pitched voices and low testosterone levels. It was difficult for him to accept. Oh, I'm sorry. The test was difficult because it went against nature's plan. He didn't want to go against nature's plan. Something he saw was about controlling birth and preventing reproductive potential of future children. Wanting to make fathers infertile. What? And I have Harvard here, which is another Ivy League school. So there's something about him finding out about certain distortions to affect the memories of victims for serious crimes, a cover up of crimes. He didn't want anything to do with it. Something about a man and a woman, a man being in competition because they did a study that Charlie Kirk would have more, maybe if he ran for president or something. If Charlie Kirk ran for president after it also says that Charlie was being pompous. And we do know that Charlie could sometimes be a little arrogant in the way that he presented information. So he could have found out about something and discovered something that he was initially initiated into, and then when he saw what it was truly about, he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. He may have slipped up and said that he would, with his chest, that he's not going to stand for this. He's not going to go along with this. This isn't what he wants. Because he learned something about a man in competition with him, and that he would be the best candidate. Like, people would vote for him over this other person. And I have right here the Large Hadron Collider, so that could be the energy weapon they use to, like, make people see the egg yolk is white instead of yellow. You know, it's like some kind of mass subliminal illusion. Okay. A target person. Yeah. Massachusetts right here. Explore just how connected we humans are. They select about 300 people at random to be blasted with the Hadron Collider, and whoever matches the energy of what they want, they will do their bidding. So that could have been the same with Charlie Kirk and the shootings. It like affects people who are in a certain energy of anger. It like sends them energy to have an intrusive thought to do whatever it is they want to do. So they're trying to test the waters to see how many 6 degrees of separation, how many people it can affect in the world. The same experiment can also be used through emails, through social media, physics and chemistry. There's people that are targeting specifically because of things they're capable of doing in the future. They're targeting people that have certain innovations for civilization. They don't want certain people to go to a certain level of extraordinary ability to create new social networks and new government agencies, because then we'll accomplish goals that will end miscommunication and conflict. So they're targeting certain people with the Hadron Collider in order to blast them with energy weapons. Cursed anniversaries to curse adversaries that would change the future, to take power away from them and put the power in people that have monumental ideas, engineers, technicians, scientists, future leaders. If people are so afraid to put their children in Ivy League schools because they might get shot up, then we won't have future. They think that we won't have future leaders or something. If we take out the person who has the best acceptance rate from the public, if we take them out, then we'll get rid of the competition. There's also something about Charlie Kirk's wife marrying someone else who could be the future president or something. I'm getting that. I don't know if that's true. I'm just getting what I'm seeing. They think that we're small brained. They're trying, these are non-humans that think we're small brained, that they have greater brain capacity than us, that they're trying to play on our unconscious processes, so they can affect our neocortex and prefrontal cortex to remember things differently or to think that it's not the way it is. They're putting in into regions of the brain ways for us to act like animals, to think less and react more. They want us to be unconscious to the alarms that are being set.
Toilet.
Toilet. It's a toilet. By affecting the unconscious mind through some kind of hadron collider energy particle accelerator. They're definitely using that in some capacity because they want the achievements. Right here, a form of shocking magic tricks. I told you they use energy manipulation to put us under illusion so we don't think it is the way it is. But they're trying to test the waters to see how much we believe and how much we don't believe, how much we rationalize what's going on and don't ask questions. They're trying to test the waters. Because they want to exact dominance, kinds of dominance, physical and non-physical. They want us to be in our ego. They want us to be easily flocked. They want us to wear Rolexes and drive Lamborghinis and pound our chests like baboons. So they're trying to do a check to see where we're at, to some kind of signaling, to see some kind of subtle signaling, to see the decline in any conspicuous display of affluence, showing up unexpectedly. And they're targeting people who have exceptional futures that would help to change the way our government is and make us a more civilized society that would elevate us. So they're targeting people that have, like I told you guys, they spy in the future. They use divination abuse. And I know you're thinking like, that's ridiculous. Why would they do that? But I'm telling you, they do. They absolutely 100% do. And they do that because they're trying, but they do it against people's will. And so they'll target people who they've looked at a timeline where they could change, have a great human social transformation, and they'll target those people or places or things. Brown is a place that has great minds. There's lots of great minds there that are going to be the future, children of the future leaders, future scientists, and whatever they learn there, doctors. But if we perceive our emotions by being reactionary, and we don't evolve ourselves beyond, egoic, materialistic things, then hexes, then we'll be hexed. It's like hexing ourselves. So they want us to be, that's why they do these things. They're trying to test the waters, and they're trying to, it's multidimensional. It's an energy grab. It's a display of dominance. It's for us to have fear, false evidence appearing real. It's for us to give permission to them to do something, to give our power away to them. It's so multidimensional. It's really some kind of dominance tactic. to demand some kind of, they want it to stay the same. They don't want it to change. It's really actually a desperate act because they're trying to read the people.
In the evening.
And they're trying to read the people. They do something at night where it's Browns. Look at this. Remember the statistics on Browns marrying Browns. Brown University. Investors. Something about investors. Something about investment opportunities. Trying to influence companies and trying to subliminally influence the masses so they can receive a source that's a mystery to us, but not to themselves. They don't want us to be aware of our feelings. They want us to stay in an incoherent state so we don't get profound introspection of secrets that they use that are psychological.
Yes to all.
Yes to all. So what can we do? What can we do to prevent them from using these tactics? What can we do? You start tomorrow. You start tomorrow. Draw back. So many future parents had little discussion. There's definitely something about a scheme to implement something about the next president. They're trying to set up some kind of plan to indoctrinate the next president. They need us to have a certain kind of beliefs that the next candidate will be directing. They need us, like, whatever they're going to be saying, they need us to be like, yeah, I really believe in that, because they want us to elect a certain candidate that's connected to Charlie Kirk somehow.
Timeless growth.
Damn, you guys. So, I just need a minute I need a minute. That was a lot. I need a minute. Yeah, there's something about a plan for the next candidate, presidential candidate. They setting all these pieces into place. They're putting in all these orders for this plan they have because they want to put in a certain candidate that's connected to Charlie Kirk that Charlie Kirk didn't want to be a part of. He found something out. But Charlie Kirk could have possibly been a candidate for the future president, and his numbers were greater than this person that they have in line. Yeah, they're trying to grow this idea in our minds now, so later on when it happens, after all these events have taken place, there's something that they're going to say. They have a lot of menus, things that they're have plans for. That's how they work. These interdimensional beings, they don't live in time, and so they can implement one seed now, and then wait for it to grow because they know the outcome. They're directing it the way that the outcome they want it to be. Okay, so there's something about that. Something about that. Yeah, the Lovers. I'm telling you, I don't. I'm. There. Charlie Kirk's wife could possibly, like, be on the whoever the next president is going to be could possibly have connections with Charlie Kirk's wife or something. Or Charlie Kirk's wife could possibly, I can't read her energy because I don't have permission. But there's something that the writing's on the wall about, something she is stressed out about, some kind of seed that was planted, something that she doesn't want, but she feels like she has to because there's something that she has to stand alone about, and it has to do with the next president. Some kind of Charlie may have a confirmation with a notification. There's something. She may be being blackmailed to do something. Something that she's scared about. Something that she doesn't want to come out. It could be an affair. Some kind of affair she was having with one of his friends or whoever this presidential candidate is. Wow.
Apparition is near him.
Alright, so what can we do about it? What is the suggestions? What can we do about it? How should we go forth? Spirit got you. Spirit got you. Spirit got you. The heart repair, healing, building trust. Yeah, so Spirit wants us to be in this vibes in sync. Cosmic nudges. Everything's going according to plan. Spirit just wants us to continue being with your family, continue following the flow. Don't be worried by what you see going on the outside of your environment. Don't allow yourself to have false evidence appearing real. Don't cosmic nudges, follow the signs. Yeah. Healing through love. Yeah. This is a recovering time for us. We're going into a time where we're starting to be more self-reflective. Inside, where it's an inside job. Continue doing the inside work. If you want to see change in the world, you have to start within yourself. And so there's signs, evidence, cheating, red flags. Yeah. I told you, they're going to be trying to do false flags. They're going to try to test the waters. But just know that it's nothing you need to worry about. It's just them trying to induce a reaction out of us. So we give them permission to do something. So we make a compromise with them and allow them to resolute conflict. Okay, but there is no conflict. The conflict is them. These are the tactics they have to do in order to direct where they want it to go. But Spirit says it's just not going to work this time because there's too many of us that are healing our hearts, that are resolving conflicts within ourselves. So these are the same tactics they've used for eternity, and to know that even though there will be some casualties, it's not something that we should put our energy into. We don't want to match that energy. Okay. There'll be alignment. I told you, alignment. Just focus on being in alignment. Focus on learning lessons. Just focus on, they're going to be watching us. They're going to be testing us because they are in a toxic environment, because they're the ones who are being caught at this time. And so they're gasping at straws, but the more of us are coming online and putting peace before anything else. And that's what we should continue doing. Oh, thank you so much, Steve. Thank you for being here. Charlie Kirk may have been a jerk in many ways, but there's something that in the end he realized was not something he wanted to be a part of, and that may have been what ultimately took him from the collective, and he wants to be forgiven. He was he wants to be forgiven because there's a lot of secrets that he wasn't aware of that could have actually involved his union. He thought that his divine union was unshakable, but there's some kind of information that he found out that was sneaky and dishonest. He found out that possibly his life he was living with somebody in particular was a lie. He may have got clarity about that. That the person he was with is actually bossy, selfish, inflexible, and lacks empathy. Was always distracting him. The ex. Yeah, so Spirit says, don't worry about this. All of these things are connected through energy, through some kind of energy manipulation, because there's certain people who are, each one of these situations represents what they want to happen within the collective. Family dynamics, education dynamics, international dynamics, political dynamics. It's all connected, and for us to not put too much of our energy into being scared about it, because that's not going to change it. It's fire. You can't fight fire with fire. The best way to put out a fire is to be grounded through the earth, to put earth on the fire, to put dirt on the fire, to be grounded, to heal, to learn your lessons, to forgive, to follow the cosmic nudges of love, forgiveness. Those are the things within ourselves that are going to be reflected. If they want to use energy manipulation in a bad way, we can use it in a good way. And just because it's manipulated doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that we're clearing our minds and we're clearing our hearts and we're changing the energy in that way. And so to continue doing it like that. I'm worthless. That's what that dumb God does. Oh, thank you, Sharp Pencil. Thank you so much. So, absolutely, start your own channel. Yeah, start your own channel. We need to share our experiences. We need to share how we get through tough times. We need to share about how we overcame, tragedies in our lives, how we overcame betrayal, how we found forgiveness, how we stopped abandoning ourselves. We need to choose ourselves now. Okay, so that's ultimately what the message is. These things are connected.
Black magic.
Black magic. I can't make it up, you guys. I would never make it up. I know that it sounds ridiculous, but that's the point. Truth is stranger than fiction. They want it to sound absurd because they're getting caught. They're getting caught. Okay? It's coming out. It's their secrets, their dishonesty, their misinformation. It's coming out. So they want what they do to seem ridiculous to us, because if it's ridiculous, then we won't believe it and we won't look at it. But if you're not looking at it, if it's not in your awareness, then we can't change it. Okay? So keep persevering, keep being creative, keep being assertive in your boundaries, and keep being assertive in your self-care. Keep putting yourself first. Keep thinking of those creative ideas and putting them out there. Make the channel. Speak your truth. Be vulnerable. Go out. Stop being afraid to go out. Go out in public. Go for a walk. All those things. Keep persevering through difficult times without giving up. Don't allow what you're seeing on the outside to dictate how your life is going to go. You are in control of your emotions and the direction you want your life to go, and that's something that you can control, and to continue doing that. Okay? I'm sorry if this was all over the place. I didn't really exactly know how to, go about reading it. I tried to streamline it as much as possible. I think that if you feel like you want me to go into each case individually, I can, to see how, the things that led up to that for them to be affected by the energy manipulation. I could, but I don't know. I feel like ultimately it all has one thread, and the one thread is the powers that be doing the same tactics they do all the time. They don't know how to do anything else, you know? So just be mindful of that. Oh, thanks, Stephen. Thank you so much. I love you guys. That was fun. It was fun to do. I didn't know how it was gonna turn out, but it was fun. So, and I'm happy to get what I can, and I'm happy to be here. Poker is a challenge, like life. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. I like that.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy. I'm telling you. I'm so happy. I practice hypnosis, so I'm hoping to use that to help others. Absolutely. As long as you're using it responsibly, then absolutely. I love you so I love you guys so much. I gotta go. I'll be here tomorrow. We're here every weekend for you, every Saturday and Sunday, to bring the messages forward with spirit, to help the collective in this time, because we're in a very fun time of evolution where we're changing our consciousness, and we're in a place of truth where we're revealing what needs to heal. So I love you so much. I'm starving. I need to go eat, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.